The backbone of New Zealand's economy, small businesses, will need a jumpstart to help the country's economy get moving again. That's something both government and the opposition agree on. National says if elected, it will give businesses a $10,000 cash bonus each time they hire more staff. Party leader Todd Muller announced the JobStart scheme after a tour of the furniture fittings company Blum in Auckland this afternoon. Amy Williams and video journalist Dan Cook were there and filed this report.
Blum employs more than 40 people in New Zealand and is among businesses hard hit by shutdowns due to the coronavirus. Its managing director, Michael Hawkins, says business is down by a third.
We want to retain our people. We don't see any real risk there, but the worry is we don't know what the future looks like in 3 months' time or 6 months' time. So that's really a big concern. We've already seen a drop-off, and that's not going to correct, I don't believe, and hopefully it doesn't get too much worse.
Mr Hawkins says with the help of the government's wage subsidy, Blum has retained all its staff. He gave National Party leader Todd Muller a tour of the Auckland factory, from where its products are assembled, packaged and distributed, ahead of the leader's first policy announcement. Mr Muller outlined part of National's plan for small businesses if the party's elected. Its JobStart scheme would offer cash payments to businesses for each new hire from November and run for 5 months, incentivising up to 50,000 new jobs.
This is a focus on actually creating the conditions in partnership with small businesses to take a punt and re-employ people that they have had to let go over the last few months.
The scheme would be capped at 10 new employees or $100,000 per business, costing $500 million in total. It comes as the outlook for holding onto jobs looks grim. Official figures show jobs fell by a record 37,500 last month as the economy suffered a downfall from COVID-19 effects. And the Reserve Bank has warned unemployment could rise as high as 18%. Mr Muller, who's taken on the small business portfolio, says they are the backbone of the economy.
This is a signal of intent that the National Party will stand beside small business and help them grow and come out of what is the greatest economic crisis of a generation.
The government's recovery plan has provided relief for small businesses, including the wage subsidy which owners could claim for themselves to help retain staff. Finance Minister Grant Robertson says the government has provided immediate support to businesses.
Our focus for now, as I think most businesses has been around keeping people employed through things like the wage subsidy scheme, moving to support people's income through things like the income relief payment, and creating jobs and creating them right now.
Mr Robertson says he'd be prepared to consider a grant for small businesses in months to come. As for most small businesses' survival, Michael Hawkins says only time will tell how they'll fare.
You know, after 6 months we'll know a little more, but it's still really hard to know. I don't think anyone can predict it. Certainly I don't claim to be smart enough to do that. There's so much unknowns.
Mr Hawkins says it is vitally important to get small businesses back and running so they can help rebuild the economy. For Checkpoint, Amy Williams.